there's always something that you can put into your game. Mm-hmm. And at this point, after that play, there's really never too late for a whistle. You can
on
always
something that
egregious. When that girl grabs the rebound, I should have come out and up and blown it.
Same.
And we
could
got
have
something.
We could have been wrong. It wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered because that coach was he said that's got to be a block or a charge, but it's something.
Yeah,
that's
he didn't
why his
care
arms
what
were
it
there.
was. He just wanted a whistle.
Right.
You're listening to Rule the Court, the podcast, where basketball officials talk shop, swap stories, and bring a little clarity to the chaos.
14, hold.
So I think to thrive in this, you really have to become a leader.
Hosted by Brandon Porter and Caleb Smith, let's blow the whistle and get this thing started.
Hey guys, I'm really looking forward to today's guest. There's those officials that you officiate, and then there's really the ones that you really officiate with. I'm talking the kind of people that you call after every game just to boo them or roast their mechanics or meet up at Whataburger. Anyway, today's guest is that guy for us. He's park collegiate golf coach, right? Park crew chief. That's debatable.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
And he's 100% ready to relive some of the most moronic moments that we've had on the court together.
Woohoo.
So you ready for this?
I am ready for this. But real quick, before we get started, guys, if you're enjoying this and you're learning and you're just having a ton of fun watching us be goobers, please go like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcast and Spotify. And if you wouldn't mind, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Roll the Court Pod. But that being said, thank you for all that. And I would like to introduce you all to Mr. Bart Craig, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Terrible.
There's no better way to start the show with you than
Absolutely
just
not.
That's the only way you
That's
start.
the way I feel like home with you two jokers.
So let's get into the first question then. Talk about just kind of our dynamic as far as what we do after every single game night or whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely a phone call made. There's no doubt about it. And for us, it's just for more times than not, it's just to relax and talk about and de-stress because we screw up. We just do.
You know what?
And so when it's like I need somebody else to feel my pain, and you guys understand that.
Tell me your pain so I don't feel so bad.
If Roll the Court becomes the common theme of us screwing up all the time, coaches aren't going to want to have us on.
No,
They're gonna be
watch your
they screw up
podcast.
way too much.
Your podcast told us a lot about you. Don't drive to my game and don't call my game, please.
So we have to boo each other every game.
Absolutely.
And occasionally we meet up at Whataburger, right?
About every other game.
We try to do it.
Yeah.
We try to find, if there's ever a time that we're both in town or it's going to work out, we'll meet up. Brandon's met us up there a few times.
Absolutely.
In fact, probably more often than not.
Last year was my first year to really meet with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but that even gets better because now you're face to face and really talking about it and feel the emotion and all of that. And it's just how bad was that?
Yeah.
And usually it stems from like one or two plays. Like, this is what I did. What do you think about this play? And then you'll tell me what something that you did in your game. And even if you got it right, or I think, oh yeah, you got it, I'm still gonna boo you.
Yeah.
That's horrible. You really screwed that one.
But then that also sets us up for the video that'll inevitably come later, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because we all look at our games.
Yeah.
And that's a great learning tool, is the fact that we can go back and we have access to most of our games that we can look at. And it's the good and the bad and the ugly. And we always learn more from our mistakes than we do from the things that we get right. That's just the way it works. And so to be able to really feel that with other officials that appreciate the game, appreciate the rules, and try hard to get it right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And so we're all human.
Yeah.
We all screw up.
What I'm really excited about, Bart, about having you on, I haven't even told Caleb this, is like we're predicating this whole podcast on like being human beings. Like we're not just stripes. And I'm excited because you're one of the only people in our chapter that I know focuses more on the mistakes than the good, right? The ego's gone with Bart.
He is the perfect person to come on the show to demonstrate that we are real, we're raw, and we're relatable. That's what we try to be on this show.
That's where the slogan came from, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like we're just so excited to have someone who can be like, hey, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I went 47 minutes perfect, and that 1 minute is what I'm focused on.
It was
so
just
I'm
a cluster.
super excited to have you on, man.
And the fact that, and it is something that Caleb and I have been doing for years and years, is the fact that we have a grading system. Like we grade ourselves after every game as individuals and as crews. And we're very hard on ourselves. I mean,
you're very hard on yourself.
But to get better, right? Yeah. We're always trying to call the perfect game. We are.
Yeah.
And that's the pursuit. And the closer you can get to that perfection for both yourself and your crew.
Man, I got a new slogan. I got a new slogan for us, by the way.
A slogan?
Yeah.
A new
slogan.
I
got a new one. So, I coach Little League Baseball, right? And I coached a couple of the coaches that I coached with. I learned even from coaching, and one of them, he was the other assistant on the team, and he kind of ran most of the practices, and his slogan was, guys, we're out here, we're going to touch perfect as many times as we can. I love that because it's like, we know we're humans, we're not going to be perfect, right but that should be our goal. We're going to try to touch perfect as many times as we can.
I think
that should be the same slogan in officiating.
Absolutely. I love that.
Our listeners don't even know, but you took over Abilene basketball chapter with best team on the floor.
So you know where that came from. Or I wasn't the one who came up with that. The first person that I ever heard that say that was Carl Wingy in a game. He said, I want to be the best team on the floor. Let's be the best team on the floor tonight. And I was like, that is really great. That is awesome because we want to be the best, right? We're out here trying to be the best that we can be, but it also like emphasizes we're a team. Like we're in this together. We're going to I've heard you say it before. Like when you go to games, you're going to war with your partners. And sometimes in war, I mean, you're serious, obviously, but sometimes when you get to the back locker room or when you get at Whataburger, you have to be funny. You have to boo. we have to just rag on Bart.
Because the war. Each game is really a war.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about all these battles that are going on throughout the game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Whether it's you and staying in your primary and really focusing on a primary matchup, or you having to go into a secondary with a late whistle because you saw something that we had to get right. All of those factors, and then you have the teams battling each other. And so we have to keep watch on that and making sure we don't have any nonsense, what we call nonsense, especially dead ball stuff. And so after each battle, you work through, then the war is over, and that's a time to decompress.
Yeah.
Both the good and the bad. And
because you got to go tomorrow. Because you got to get back out there tomorrow.
That's right. Because we got a new war going on tomorrow.
Yeah, right on.
So I got to ask you then, because, we talk, we make fun of each other a lot.
All the time.
Even if we know that if I know you had a great game, I'm not going to let you, I'm going to make fun of you. You're going to make fun of me. That's just a relationship we got. So let me ask you, is there such thing as a one-man blarge? Well, first, let me back up. Explain to our listeners who might not be officials what a blarge is.
Okay.
What's a blarge?
Okay.
And then first tell me that, and then let's see if we can,
where that goes.
Yeah, see where that goes.
So a blarge is typically a call that involves two people. Now, you can't
typically keyword there. Typically keyword.
And it's where one official judges a play as a block on a defender, and the other official calls an offensive foul on the offensive player. And so you have
same contact.
On the same contact.
Whistle at the same time.
Yes.
Two differing calls.
Yes, two differing calls. And you never want that to happen. And so therefore you combine the block with a charge and you come up with this blarge. And it's like the dodo bird, right? Is the one man blarge where you do it all yourself.
Yeah, so everybody in officiating, they try to avoid. We talk about being patient in our primary, having a patient whistle, all this stuff, post and hold.
If
It's
there's
all,
a double whistle, look at your partner first.
It is basically all stuff to avoid
the blarge.
the blarge,
Yes.
right?
God-forsaken blarge.
The blarge.
So
And
it would have been better. So it would have been better had I had another person in my man blarge.
And so
'cause
that's
it's all
all-
on
So you
me.
had a one-man blarge.
So you had a one-man blarge.
Yeah.
So it is possible
It's
to have one.
absolutely possible.
So how in the world do you have a one-person blarge?
You go up with your hand, and midway up, when you go to, my original thing was a charge. So I was thinking it was offensive foul. So I go up with a charge, and about halfway up, I go to the hips with a block. And everybody saw it, and it was just a fiasco. It was terrible. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
I
and
wish
I'll
I was
tell
in
you
that
right,
game.
what was really funny. Here's the worst part about that. After I got in with my partners talking about the call, they were like, if you'd have stuck with your original call, you would have got it right. So not only did you have a blarge, you got it wrong.
That's hilarious. Have you ever had a blarge?
One.
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 Was it with Bart?
No, I was in a whole different chapter.
Oh, okay.
But I did think about Bart halfway through it. I was like, you know who would do great in this situation? Bart.
Man,
Oh, man.
I better just shut my mouth, because the moment I say it before this episode airs, I'll have a blarge call. I don't know what it feels like to have a blarge. What goes through your head?
You're
in that
definitely on an island. Unless you have a partner.
Well,
And then
okay. Well, I am excited because we've been talking about this for a long time.
Mhm.
That, man, if we ever had a radio show or a podcast, here's a perfect idea for a segment. And I'm going to introduce a segment to our listeners today called Cue the Clown Music.
Oh my God. What a clown. What an idiot. Cue the clown music.
All right, so here we go. We got Bart as the C coming up, Courtney, and oh my gosh. Womp, womp, womp. Boo. So what is this? You even make a verbal, a physical motion to your knees. Courtney's calling a charge. Bart's
and there I
calling
go
the
with the
block.
There's your gold star blarge right there.
Oh, what a call.
Boo. This was in Clyde, Texas, wasn't it?
This certainly was in Clyde,
Clyde, Texas girls game.
Yep.
And
And we talk about, I think as I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, we talk about patient whistles, right? And that was not a patient whistle.
yeah.
From that very instance.
Whose call is that?
Ooh. So, what was your pregame? Let's talk about pregame in a second. I'm gonna close this segment by saying that Cue the Clown Music is a brand new segment brought to you by hashtag RevRob Sells Cars. That's hashtag RevRob Sells Cars. That's Rob Durham at Bayer Chevrolet in Breckenridge. You need a new ride? Big Game Rob has got the keys, the deals, and the stripes to prove it. Visit Ref Rob in Breckenridge and tell him Rule the Court sent you. So that's our first ever Cue the Clown Music.
I'm so honored.
Honored to be a part of that. So
honored
now
to be the first.
So
Yes.
let's get into that. Let's break down
That play.
that play. Like, whose call is that?
Right. Well,
What was it
obviously,
being?
so if you look at it, and obviously, typically what happens, now it happened on my side of the floor because I was C. She blew by what you would probably consider her primary defender. Okay. I missed that. So I was thinking the primary defender was right there on the block. So it's in my primary defender. That's all me.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, because she blew by her primary defender, that guard, now that becomes a secondary defender. And we pregame, I would say most, if not all of us pregame, a secondary defender coming across, especially when the lead has that look, then it becomes lead's call, even though it's on my side of the court.
Yeah.
And so
What about? I'm curious how y'all pregame transition. How
That was a transition play.
how you pregame the transition.
And
play.
I think that varies from crew to crew.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that you would remember, but I'm assuming if you're in a game with Courtney and who was your third in that game?
Lower pack.
Lower pack.
Lower pack.
I'm curious, what's the pregame discussion on transition plays like that?
So, and again, I think that varies from crew to crew. You know, I feel like if lead is in position, right, lead is going to have most of that attack to the basket because they're receiving the play. Okay. With that being said, if a drive originates from C, it was coming right down my side of the floor, there is an argument out there that says it's coming from my side, even though it's transition, I'm going to take it all the way to the basket.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, to your point, that pregame has to be made, and we have to have an understanding of what's going on. I feel like, again, now that I'm 2 years later, I would have, because I had the whistle from C, I would like to have had that call. Yeah. Personally.
So my question, like, let's say you and I are in a game. Let's say it's a college game. And in our pregame, what would that sound like to you? Like, let's just say we have like a one-on-one matchup in transition. That's a pretty good scenario. And
are you leading me to something?
I don't know. Maybe we
foreshadowing.
Do you want him to tell the pregame before the clip, or do we want to show this clip?
Just show it.
Okay. All right.
Another cue the clown music.
We'll spare you the clown music this time.
Yes, but this is a bonus. This is a bonus feature of cue the clown music.
This is a bonus.
Also brought to you by Ref Rock.
I'm saying, when I come on the show, it's go big or go home. So you got two cue the clown music.
two of them.
Yeah.
The difference between this one, still transition play, right? So the difference between this one and the last one is that you are now the lead, and Brandon is the C.
Brandon is the lead.
Brandon is the lead, and I'm the C.
Is Brandon the
You'll
lead?
notice he's really fast getting down to lead.
Oh, is it? I thought.
And he is
that's
probably the best looking one on the crew.
That's
100%.
And then you'll see
accurate.
the guy at C, very long-legged, bald head. That's Bart.
So you're in the same spot.
And about 15 pounds heavier in that shot.
Yeah, you have lost weight. Congratulations on that.
So you're in the same spot. Let's roll the clip.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot. That's right.
Okay, so let's pause it. Okay, so did we see this? We've got Bart in the C and Brandon in the lead position, and we have a very similar play. I'm going to run it back, and then I think we're going to let the viewers decide. What if we let the viewers ponder this over the break?
I'm cool with that.
You want to do that? So let's let you watch it one more time, and then we'll take a quick break. So what do we have? Is this a block or is it a charge?
Dun, dun, dun.
When we come back to Rule the Court, the podcast, we'll find out.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
Rule the Court, the podcast, is not just about calls and whistles. It's about the people behind the stripes. And one of those people is presenting sponsor, Corey James. Corey is the kind of guy who brings the same energy to the insurance world as he does to the court. He is about trust, consistency, and showing up when it matters most. Whether you're protecting your home, your car, or your future, Corey James has you covered. So keep learning, keep growing, and keep listening to Rule the Court, the podcast, brought to you by Corey James State Farm. Court, the podcast with Brandon Porter and Caleb Smith.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. And I guess we're glad that Bart stuck with us too.
Glad to be here. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, boo.
Hey, before we left break, we showed you this play, right? And we left you to decide if it's a block or if it's a charge. So what do we got? What do we have here? Block, charge, and whose call is it?
Let's see what we have
We want to see?
first.
All right. Drum roll. What? Are you kidding me?
Absolutely nothing.
Did we have
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing? Let's see it again.
We don't have a murder on the court.
Let's see it in slow-mo.
Let's see here. Get her just
Oh my gosh.
She's got run over by
Look,
a
even the
train.
coach is wondering, what is going on?
Coach there is like,
And
what are we
yes, it's exactly.
Welcome to Reffing with Brandon and Bart.
doing? So would you call this the exact opposite of a blarge?
Absolutely.
Is there a name for it?
Terrible.
Terrible. I'm
Silence.
going to give it the two-man freeze.
The two-man freeze.
I
Yes.
like that one.
The two-man freeze.
I like
So,
that one.
Break
Yes.
down this play. Why this is completely opposite of what you guys had in Clyde, which, by the way, every time we go to Clyde, hey, I've got a picture that I like to send Bart.
That's beautiful.
Every time we have a play or he does something dumb, I like to send this picture to him. This is a picture of me in Clyde, Texas.
Yes.
Imitating Bart.
Imitating Bart on the exact spot, on the floor.
On my blarge.
So what do we have? Why do we have this play?
This play starts 6 hours before this play happens. Would you agree, Bart?
I agree.
So
I agree.
This was in the panhandle of Texas. It's supposed to be a 4-hour drive,
Mm-hmm.
and it had been snowing
All the
week.
way up there.
All week, man.
Yeah.
And so we were actually worried that we weren't even going to have a game.
We were surprised that the game was still
Yeah.
on
The away team started at 8 o'clock in the morning and got there
after we did.
20 minutes before tip-off. We picked our partner up about halfway there
Mhm.
and drove on ice for 2 hours. And so our nerves were shot
Yeah.
before the game even started.
Oh,
Shot
yeah.
enough, I went and got a workout in pregame.
Just because we knew as bad as it was going up there, it was going to be worse going
Mhm.
home.
You're
Yeah.
already tense.
Yes.
That's
100%.
hard.
And so
that's tough.
then you add on, we actually had to get a manager from the home team removed from the bench,
Mhm.
and he got put up in the stands. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I get a little too serious and a little too invested in things.
Hmm.
And so I was already in a bad mood,
Did your face show it?
obviously. All of you watching,
Do
obviously.
you have a little bit of RBF?
No, I think it's just more of seriousness.
Okay.
It's RBF. And so yeah, and we had talked pregame about being perfect in our primaries.
Mhm.
And Brandon, the one who had that pregame, is the one that probably should have had a whistle on that play. But why didn't you have a whistle on that play?
Because I trusted my partner.
Yeah.
Oh, good answer.
And you should have never trusted your partner.
And to piggyback off of that, that is what I've probably learned in the last year. What I've learned from Brandon more than anything else is you've got to be good regardless of what kind of games your partners are having and take care of them.
Yeah.
And that has really resonated with me.
Yeah.
Brandon can give you the foul count at any time during the game. He can tell you what you had before you go to the table.
Yeah.
He can tell you, how many timeouts there are, which I just think is phenomenal. How
And
all those categories, and he does all that to take care of his crew.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And so again, should I have had a whistle or a secondary whistle? Absolutely. But Brandon, as far as I'm concerned, is the best referee in our chapter.
So
and
talk
we're the
about
best.
that then, because there are definitely moments whenever there's that tension.
Mhm.
Because in our pregame, we do talk about be great in your primaries,
Mhm.
but trust your partner. So talk about that tension, and sometimes it feels like it could be
Like you're overanalyzing.
like it's a pull there.
Yeah.
Like, do I trust my partner or do I call
Yeah.
the secondary?
Well, I think in that instance where you have a train wreck,
yeah.
right? You know, we always talk about our late whistles and what that looks like if you feel like it's outside your primary. It has to be late,
Yes.
right? It has to
Has to be right.
right?
The three
Uh-huh.
C's, right?
And you got to be needed.
And it has to be needed. It has to be warranted.
Yeah.
Okay. That fit that.
Yeah.
And so as you run that play through, even at the rebound, there's never, I don't feel like, and this is something that I'm learning because even though I've been at this for 13 years, never too late for a whistle. You can
On
always
something that
That
egregious.
obvious.
When that girl grabs the rebound, I should have come out and up and blown it
Same.
and
And we could have
got
been
something.
We could have been wrong. It wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered
Just
because
something.
that coach was he said that's got to be a block or a charge, but it's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
and
he
that's why
didn't
his
care
arms
what
were
it
in there.
was. He just wanted a whistle.
Right. And part of it, going back to why we blew it, right, is because it was a college game. We have a college assigner, right? That again, it stepped up a little bit. And he looks at a lot of games. He looks at every play, whether primary or secondary. And then if you blow it, he's going to call you.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And which makes it even worse, the fact that we didn't have a whistle and we're, you know,
You're driving back home and the ice just
Yeah, we can finish that
deflated.
story out because when we drove back home, our partner fell asleep in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving and we were in the middle of nowhere. And so if you've never been on a country road out in the middle of nowhere, they don't even have reflectors on the side of the road. So the way we did it, because I was tense, man, and Bart was in fear of his life, is
y'all have the road problems, not me.
No.
okay, Mr. Ticket, pipe down.
we couldn't see the road.
Yeah.
So it was snowing and windy, so we had snow drift. And so Bart was looking at the road while I'm driving, telling me where he thinks I am in relation to the road. And I'm looking at the GPS, seeing if there's any turns in the GPS. And we somehow, actually, you know what? We did get into one little fender bender because a deer ran out and hit the side of the car. It kissed, and it was fine, but it kissed the side of the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somehow we made it out of that.
That was that. The sides of the roads,
Terrifying.
nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just flat snow.
We got passed by an 18-wheeler. Remember that?
We did.
I said, boy.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, that was not really a fun experience. The call itself or the experience after, just the day. It sounds like that was just
a long day, man.
It was a long day. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just a long day to have to drive that far up there for that.
Yeah.
And then,
Was the game close?
It ended up getting close.
yeah, I want to say maybe a 15-point game.
I think we even
something
kicked a
like
fan out of that game.
Managers getting removed, fans getting kicked out.
It was
icy
crazy.
road.
And we got told after the game that we missed calls on both sides.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
At least
that.
you're
We were
consistent.
consistent.
So to bring it kind of to a more serious tone, I know that's hard to do with me sitting across from you, but to tell an official who's maybe coming up in the ranks or trying to get better, what would you say to them as far as like after a mistake like that or after a long game like that? How do you make sure stuff like that doesn't happen in the next game, or how do you learn from it? Like, how do you move forward from something like that?
Right. Couple of things that stand out.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, I got home, and I'm sure Brett, we watch all our games.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We watch all our games, and we take notes, and we look at our piece of the pie, our job, what we did in our each position, and rate our calls and how we did. You know, then on top of that, you know, we've got to move past it, right? Because we're going to be in the game the next night.
Yeah.
So we got to be ready for that. But as we're watching that film, I'm taking notes, right? Where was my positioning? Was it my primary? Was it a primary defender? What did that look like? What would it have looked like even if it wasn't a primary? It was needed. It had to be right. You know,
and you were a year late.
I know. And
you
still haven't called that foul.
Yeah, you still haven't.
In that lateness, man, just come up with it and get it. But you know, I'm a firm believer, and this is I'm stealing this quote, but I do believe that a short pencil is much better than a long memory.
Oh wow!
And so, I write stuff down, go back and look at it.
That's good.
And so hopefully you don't.
I take notes. I'm not a writer, but I feel.
Yeah. However you do it, however your system works, right?
Or we text back and forth. I mean, we'll text about plays.
I silenced that group, by the way. I'll just look down and have 27 missed messages. But you know what's crazy?
It can get a little wild and crazy. I get that.
It's a lot coming from Bart.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he used to keep a list in his pocket of all his missed plays. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The big red pen.
I do remember that. You got onto him for it.
I did. I got mad at you for it. Because it was like, dude, that happened.
That's all the he's like holding on to the negative stuff. Get rid of it.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Bart's ancient and still learning, you know, like
I am ancient and I am still learning because I think that's the beauty of it. And I think that's why we're all drawn to this game.
Yeah.
As officials is we're always learning.
Yeah.
We're always trying to improve and get better. And, we love what we do.
Yeah.
We, at the end of the day, we love what we do.
I have a weird kind of sidebar question. I we're kind of running long, but you have a son that officiates.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you tell him when he first started out? Because it's not always smooth.
No.
And he's a new official, and he's also your son.
Right.
So what kind of interactions do you guys have in that aspect?
He asked me a lot of questions. There's no substitute for getting in the rule book, period. Getting in the rule book and getting into the decision book.
I'm
part of the name.
Period.
I'm glad you're going this direction because you were the rules interpreter.
Right. That's right.
Are you still the rules interpreter?
As far as I know, I am. We'll see what the new board comes out with.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
To be determined.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but rules. I was wanting to get to some rules because I feel like you are a rules guy.
Right.
You are a rules guy.
I try to be, and I think that's partly because obviously the game of golf is dictated by its own set of rules, and you're for the most part on the golf course, you're your own enforcement of those rules.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of translated naturally to basketball. And I love the rules, and I love getting in depth in the rules and really trying to break them down and figure out what they're trying to tell us.
Yeah.
And which is really interesting because then you can there's a lot of black and white, but there's also a lot of gray.
I literally have this in the notes that I got to talk to you about black and white versus gray. Is there any gray in the rule book?
There's so much gray.
Yeah.
And what you have
which is judgment, right?
Is judgment.
The gray part is the judgment.
People don't know why I'm laughing, but Caleb and I literally got in almost a fist fight one time because he was Mr. Black and White, and I was like, yeah, dude, whatever. And we finally met in the middle.
For me to say that there's gray.
We finally met in the middle, but it was so funny. Anyway, sorry.
There's got to be some gray. I think there's got to be some gray.
Yeah.
And so we talk to getting back to your question. I challenge him on rules, and I would tell all young officials, get into Rule 4. That's your definitions.
Know those. Start
there.
Yep.
Which is where you and I get kind of crossways on guarding and legal guarding.
We
positions.
don't have enough time to talk about legal
we're not
guarding
go there,
position.
That'll be a whole nother 2 shows
we'll
later.
Have you on again.
Yes.
We'll have you on
like
again.
28.
We talk for hours about LGP.
Yes, but I challenge him on that. I challenge him on his primary coverage area, being great in your primary.
Yeah.
That's a huge part. You know, something that I took away from a camp probably early this year is the fact that if there's not a lot going on in your primary, find your primary matchup and zone in on that right there.
Yep.
Boom. You can never go wrong with the matchup that's right there in your primary, and then scan your secondary.
Yep.
Right. But that keeps you from the wandering eyes all over the floor. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I challenge him on his primaries. Was it a primary whistle? Was the play in your primary?
Yep.
Be great in your primary. If it's not, then you have to learn to trust your partner.
Yeah.
Period. And again, then we go back into secondary calls, which what that has to look like.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a protocol for that.
Yeah.
So be great in your primary, study the rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you've got to understand how to handle players and coaches.
Yeah. We kind of alluded to this earlier, but I kind of have a question.
Yeah. I want to hear.
We're obviously all really good friends.
Absolutely.
Y'all go to Whataburger. I've started joining. How does that help you move through a basketball season, or how does that help you get through maybe a tough couple of weeks or a tough night? Like, how does your friendships or humor?
If you don't have friends, then you're not. If you're just out there, you're not going to make it through a season.
You're not.
You're not. You have to find friends quickly, even if that friendship is making fun of mechanics or making fun of
something
dumb plays. Which I feel like, just for me, I know it's in jest.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times that's just my personality is something bad happened. Let's laugh about it, or we won't be able to get past it.
Yeah.
And so finding a friend that I can do that with is real important to me.
For 90% of the plays out there, with the exception of the Blarges, because y'all avoided the Blarge.
One man Blarge.
Right. We can empathize with each other on the highest level.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We've all done that. We've all had very similar situations in games. And, as officials, we recall those moments, right? Those are all categorized in these wonderful minds that we have.
Yeah.
And to your point, moving past plays like the no call, the freeze, the 2-man freeze. You can just, we all can sympathize and empathize with one another.
You know what I really like? We rarely work together. Maybe once.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
One thing that I really appreciate about having friendships outside the court is when we're on the court, like, you don't feel like you have to go really help that person.
Right.
And you know what they're thinking. I can look at Caleb and be like, ooh, he's about to tee that coach up. I better start walking over there. Or I can look at Bart and be like, oh, Bart, I just need to laugh, man. And he can tell.
You can also tell, like, if I'm watching a game that you're in or that Bart's in, and you make a call, and I can a lot of times tell that you don't like the call immediately, or ooh, that was a great call, or the ones where it's like, ooh,
yeah,
he didn't like that call. He's not going to like it. I can almost just see it in your face,
right,
and you're over there,
I do feel like the camaraderie outside of basketball, though, really translates on the court.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of the beauty, is the fact that we're really good friends, because we don't work together all that often. When we do get to work together, we really relish that situation.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah.
We take, we take it with a grain of salt, and we're going to have some fun with it. But at the end of the day, and it all goes back to trusting your partner.
Yeah.
Right. We've been in enough games to know, not just games together, we've been in enough games and situations where you're going to take care of you, you're going to take care of you, I'm going to take care of me, but we're all going to take care of each other as well.
Yeah.
And when you have that on the floor, it's not just a well-called game. It's fun. It is fun. We all have had those games where it's just been fun.
Yeah.
We're in the right positions to make the right calls. And it just flows well. And they're typically good games. and there are some crummy games too, and where we are the best team on the floor, right?
Yeah.
And we can't allow sketchy basketball to bring our crew or our team down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We as a crew need to find ways to elevate that game to get them to our level.
Yeah.
Right. And I think with good people and good officials, you can do that.
Yeah. I had one more like rapid fire questions just to end
Good luck.
end the episode.
Okay.
Don't get it wrong.
But as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking there's so many things that we didn't put in the notes. And I think instead I'm going to ask you one last question before we go.
One last question.
It may lead to a small story.
Dun, dun, dun.
What is the worst practical joke another official has played on you ever?
The worst practical joke that an official has played on me. This person will go unnamed, but it was playoff. It was playoff time.
Was it Caleb?
I cannot confirm nor deny it was Caleb.
It was me.
And we were coming back from a playoff. We were in different locations coming back from
I know this story.
a playoff game.
There's no way our game times would have lined up. We would have had to go on into quadruple overtime for it to actually work.
I was in the car with one of y'all.
No, because I was with Gina Gordon and Kurt Wasmer.
I was in the car with you.
You were with
I was with Dan and
Melanie.
Oh, then it happened twice.
We can see who the practical joker is in this three.
It ain't us.
It ain't us. That's right.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, I get a text, hey, meet us at this wings place in Big Spring.
I had to make it believe. So I made up some story. Like we were in a blowout game, and I can't remember, but I said, hey, man, our game went into double overtime. We're running way behind, so we might actually get to catch up with you and meet you at a restaurant. Meet us at this wings place.
And you found the place. I mean, so we go in there and we're like waiting. No show. So not only were we no showed, the food was not very good. So now I wasted a bunch of money on not very good food.
Man.
And then they didn't even show up.
And then come to find out, I know we've got a humorous relationship. Come to find out, you really weren't very happy. You really were mad.
I was mad.
I expected Dan to be mad. Dan was actually fine with it.
He was all right.
But Dan got me back.
Yeah.
He sent me to some
Hamlin.
game. Yeah, he sent
Hamlin
me
to a ghost game.
To a ghost game that didn't exist. And I was like, fair enough. I'll take it. I'll eat it. I gave y'all that. So
before he leaves, we have a theme. Caleb's driving. Do you have any good Caleb driving stories?
I don't know that it's good. I mean, we got pulled over from a playoff game coming back from Sol Ross. He was going like 100.
There's no way.
I can't believe he didn't get a ticket out of that one.
I promise I'm a good driver.
Man.
Like, I promise I'm a good driver. And this theme keeps coming up in our episodes.
Clearly.
The first time I met Brandon, I went through Anson and had a warrant, so I made him drive for not being able to pay my ticket on time. Got pulled over with Corey, James, and Randy in the car, and then with you and Randy.
Maybe it's Randy.
It's Randy. Randy's the issue.
We gotta get him on here.
Let's get Randy. Randy, you're coming on.
That's exactly
coming on the show. All right. Well, Bart, thanks for being kind.
Yeah.
Even though we're not kind to you, thanks for being the kind of guy that we can laugh with, and still learn from, even when we boo you when we hang up the phone.
Man, it's all part of the game.
You really showed us kind of whether it's a one-man blarge or a two-man freeze that, us good officials are still trying to learn and do our best. So,
and that's why we love having you in your crew.
Heck yeah.
And so appreciate you, man. And as always, guys, this has been Rule the Court, the podcast. We'll see you next time.
This has been Rule the Court, the podcast. Thanks for joining Brandon Porter and Caleb Smith as they break down the stripes and stories from behind the game. Catch us next time for more takes from the best view in the gym. Until then, stay sharp, stay humble, and rule the court. Next week on Rule the Court, Caleb and Brandon dive into one of the most fundamental and sometimes most misunderstood parts of officiating, primary coverage areas.
I don't know if there's anything more important if you want to become a great official, go from good to great, than primary coverage area.
Listen as they break down how crews can stay disciplined, trust each other, and hand off plays cleanly without stepping on toes. You'll hear stories, philosophies, and teaching points that every official can use, whether you're new to the game or have been wearing stripes for years.
So it was a drive to the hole. So, and you were the lead, and it happened to be right in front of you. And that's one of those gray areas of primary coverage areas where it's like, yeah, that's my call, but Caleb's 2 feet away from it.
Don't miss this technical deep dive on PCAs next Tuesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Only on Rule the Court, the podcast.